Okay, welcome everybody to the On Fire Empire team call. Today is Wednesday, July 13th, and today we have a really exciting call. Two of our newer coaches to the team, Renee Sullivan and Leslie Sullivan, are going to be sharing some of their best nuggets. These girls both joined up with me in May. Is that when you started? May?
June-ish, May, June. It was May.
May. And went Emerald right away and are like just about diamond or half a coach away or about to hit it when the next Thursday rolls around. So they have like gone on like the major fast track from brand new coach to being almost diamond coaches. So we're really excited to hear a little bit about each of their stories. They both have background with Beachbody prior to signing up as coaches, and then became coaches and just started sharing right away. So we are super, super excited to hear what kind of things they have to share with us today on what is working for them. As you all can tell, I am Haley today, as Haley is in Mexico. So we will be recording this so that she can catch up on it after she gets back into the States. Renee, are you planning to go first? Is that the plan? All right. Well, I will pass it off to you.
Okay. So I think all of you know me, Renee. A little bit about me, I guess, first is married to a farmer. We live on the farm, have 2 little boys, and I started with Beachbody a couple of years ago, about a year after we had our first son, Gunner, and my friend had let me borrow her Insanity DVDs. And so I was like, well, I'm going to try it out. I need to do something. I was the heaviest I had ever been. Before I got pregnant, I was actually going to try to start losing weight. And then I found out I was pregnant. We had been trying for a few months. And then I was like, well, I'll just wait till afterwards. And then it ended up being a year after I had my son. And I did the Insanity workout. I did the whole program, the whole 9 weeks, without any accountability group or Shakeology. I had tried it because Leslie and I did it together, and I didn't like it the first time I tried it, which I didn't mix it very well. She had given me, I think, a couple scoops, and I had mixed another one, and it tasted better because I added like peanut butter and ice and stuff, and so it was better, but I just wasn't really into it at that time. And so I did do the whole program. I had really good results. I think I lost about 10 pounds. I posted those transformation pictures on my Instagram and my Facebook, I believe, and had tons of people, asking what I did, and lots of positivity and encouragement. But I wasn't coaching or anything at the time, so I just kind of had shared what I did and my story. And then my goal was to be back in a bikini by the time I was 30. And I think I started maybe 6 months or so before my 30th birthday. And so I did Insanity, and then I ordered T25, and I did that program. And I did pretty good with my nutrition. I didn't really follow necessarily anything specific. I just tried to start eating better and tracking my calories, with an app, just so I was watching my portion control and things like that. And I ended up losing total, I think, probably 20 to 25 pounds over about a year's period, maybe, with what I was doing. And then I got to my 30th birthday, and I was like stoked that I had lost weight and I was feeling better and I felt fit. And so I totally rocked a bikini on my 30th and went out on a boat and Then after that, it was just kind of like, okay, I met my goal and now I'm just going to be done because we're going to try to get pregnant again. And so I just kind of stopped. I had it in my head that I wanted to continue to work out and stay fit during, pregnancy, but I think for a lot of women, it's scary when you're trying to get pregnant. You don't want anything to happen because there's so many things that can happen. And so even though I was fit and working out, I just had that in the back of my mind that for some reason, if I kept working out, I wouldn't want that to do anything if I did get pregnant. So I just kind of gave up on it and just decided to wait until I got pregnant, I guess. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll start working out again or whatever. And I didn't, of course. And so I had my second son, Kason, last year, and I did pretty well. I didn't gain, I had started out that pregnancy about 25 pounds lighter than I did with my first pregnancy. So that helped right there. But I didn't exercise. I didn't eat that great. I had to have dessert literally every single day during my pregnancy. And I just didn't really watch my health. And so after I had him, I kind of had told myself I was going to give myself a good 6 months before I started something again because I was nursing. And then I ended up nursing until about 8 or 9 months. And then I kind of decided I needed a change. I, didn't really gain a whole lot of weight back. I didn't, but I lost my muscle. And so I had to do something. And I had seen Logan's post. She kept posting these amazing pictures of herself. And I think it was January. I had messaged her and was like, okay, add me to this group because around that time I was thinking about, getting back into it. I think I had done 1 or 2 T25 workouts or something. And she was like, telling me about the group and Shakeology and the accountability. And I wasn't quite ready to jump on with Shakeology because of the price. So I just kind of, let it be for then. I'm looking at my notes over here because I wrote down some dates because it's kind of funny how the rest of this goes. About mid-April, I remember messaging Logan again because I had seen her posting about this delicious chicken sausage and all these delicious recipes and things. And so I messaged her and was like, hey, is this what you get? And she's like, yeah, that's exactly it. And so I was like, okay, I'm trying to get back on track. We had just moved and so it was kind of crazy. And so I wanted to get back into it again. And then I think it was about
Amy, can you mute?
I think it was
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, but we can hear your dad in the background.
Yeah, my dad's yelling, but I don't know how to mute it. Okay, wait, mute, because I'm trying to do it on my phone. He's not being mean. He is jokingly yelling because he is a 2-year-old. Hang on, I'll mute it.
You're good.
I think it was about mid-April or towards the end of April. Leslie had talked to me about joining Logan's group. And so I was like, that's awesome. Like, you totally should. And I think she didn't really say anything to me at that point about joining, but like a day or 2 later, or maybe it was later that day at swim lessons or something, she was like, okay, so Logan asked if you want to join the group. You don't have to drink Shakeology, but you can just join. And I was like, sure, whatever, add me to it, like reluctantly. And so she added me to the group, and I think within a couple days later, she had posted something about a 5-day challenge with Shakeology. And so I was like, sure, I'll try it. So I messaged her and was like, hey, have you ordered the packets? I want to do the 5-day challenge. She's like, okay. So she sent them to me. And I'm looking at my dates here because this is kind of ridiculous how this went. Let's see. I had messaged her May 2nd, I think. The next day, I asked her about the monthly fee of Shakeology and the coaching costs and the discount. And then the next day, so 2 days after I signed up for the 5-day group, I was like, okay, I'm all in. Let's do it. I didn't want to run out of shakes. And I was all about trying to get a discount. And then I was all about trying to get my shakes covered by, possibly helping people sign up. And my husband had been wanting to try them anyways. So, so I pretty much went all in within a couple days of trying Shakeology and joining the group. And I started a like page, I think within a week, because I was like, okay, I got to get the word out there. And I also wanted kind of a separate outlet. I didn't want to post everything on my personal page, which I still share some stuff on there, but it's nice to kind of have a separate page for people that, roll their eyes at your posts and see all these health and fitness posts all the time. So then I had done, I forgot to say, in April when Leslie had asked me to join the group, I had been doing Insanity on my own for about 2 or 3 weeks. And I was kind of just going to do it again on my own. And then I ended up joining the group, and it was such a huge help for me to stay on track with not only that, but my nutrition. I had got the 21-day fix a while before that and did it for like a week and then stopped. And then I was using the nutrition containers and stuff for that, along with Insanity. And I honestly don't think that I would have followed through with the whole program if I hadn't joined the group, because the last month is brutal, hour-long workout. Insanity is already brutal as it is. Sorry, Leslie, this probably isn't helping. But it was hard to stay motivated to get up and push play on an hour-long workout when, I was doing it in the afternoon and it had been a long day. So the group really helped with all of that. And then I think it was probably about the same time that I joined as a coach. Within that week, I posted a transformation picture of where I had started, before I started Insanity. And then, or maybe it was my 5th week. I think it was about halfway through Insanity, sometime in May. And I shared it on my page and my like page. And that's kind of how I got started with the coaching part of it, and wanting to actually pursue coaching instead of, just being a discount coach, because I had so much positivity and so many people reaching out to me and praising me and encouraging me. And it kind of validated like what I had been doing. And so I had all these people messaging me or texting me, wondering, what I was doing and how I was doing it, and they wanted to do it. And so my first month, May, I signed, I believe, 7 coaches, and they signed up with challenge packs. They were ready to, start working out and eating better, and they wanted to try the Shakeology. And so then I was even more pumped up about being a coach, because I'm helping all these people get started. And then I'm also, making an income for our family to cover our shakes and then a little bit of extra, which was nice. So with that, I decided, okay, I'm going all in with the coaching. Like, I want to do this. I want to continue to help people. I've built so many relationships with my coaches, and just with, people that aren't my personally sponsored coaches in our group. And I just love this outlet as a single mom, that you can get on and have this group of women cheering you on all the time. And, it keeps you going. It keeps you motivated and wanting to continue leading this lifestyle and to continue reaching out and helping as many people as you can. So my big thing probably is, sharing your story with other people, making sure that they know that you're not selling them something, and that you're sharing something that you love that works for you. I get excited when I'm telling people about it, and I'm like, our group is amazing, like so much motivation, so much positivity, and the Shakeology has given me so much more energy. I'm not going to Starbucks 4 or 5 days a week getting my giant venti, sometimes Trenta, or pump whatever with half and half. And I literally haven't had one of those in probably 3 months since I started, because I put my coffee in my shake and I usually have it for breakfast, and then I don't even really want coffee after that. So it's kind of amazing. Like, I don't think people understand that it's not just, a replacement. It's something that, it is a replacement, but it's not like any other shake. You always have somebody, well, I like my shake, or I like this, I get a protein that's way cheaper at Costco or whatever. And I probably would have said the same thing before trying Shakeology, like, oh, I can get it cheaper. And I don't think people realize until they actually try it how amazing it is for your nutrition and to keep the rest of your nutrition in line. So I don't try to push it on people, but I try to share that aspect of it, that, that has really helped me with my cravings. I was wanting sweets every single night still. And I don't, I rarely want those sweets at night, or I'll choose a healthier option, frozen grapes or yogurt or whatever. So, sharing that and sharing the group has been huge. And with the coaching part of it, I don't really even give anybody the option to sign up as a customer. I just kind of tell them, because it's silly to sign up as a customer, I feel like, because you're not going to save money on your shakes every month. And for me, that's why I signed up, because I wanted the discount. I don't, want to pay an extra $20 a month. So I just kind of go with the coaching part of it first. And, if people are like, well, why do they want my social security, or why do they need this, or why do they need that? And it, then I talk a little bit about the coaching aspect of it, like they need that because if people see what you're doing and want to join, you get paid. And so they usually kind of jump on board with it. And even if they don't want to coach right now, everybody sees your pictures and sees what you're doing. And even if, you aren't quite ready to share on your page, they still notice in person, and they want to do what you're doing. They want to feel better about themselves, feel better in their clothes, start looking better. They want other people to notice, that they're doing something. So I think that's been my biggest successor, is just sharing with people. And a lot of it at first was people reaching out to me, especially when I shared my transformation pictures. But I also reach out to people a lot, because there are so many people that I have, that have commented or liked my page or liked my posts, and I reach out to them, and thank them for supporting me and thank them for supporting my journey. And 80% of them, probably 90% of them, I don't even bring up like, hey, you want to join me or anything like that. They say how motivating and inspiring I am, and how they, want to do something or need to do something. And then, you don't even know that they're thinking that or wanting to do that, because they don't reach out to you, because some people, are waiting for you to maybe say something to them or to see them in person. So I think it's important to not reach out to them and be like, hey, you should join my group, but just starting conversations with people, because you never know who's watching, and you never know who you're inspiring. And it's a lot more than you think. A lot. Because there's, like I said, so many people that I've reached out to that I probably wouldn't have reached out to, ordinarily, that have been like, okay, I want to do this, or, they end up signing up. So.
And so much of the like reaching out to that we talk about is, and it's what I do too, is like you share your journey and like what you're doing on your social media pages, and when it comes to reaching out to people, you're not necessarily like messaging them with a cold invite like, hey, do you want to join me? It's, hey, I saw you guys went camping this weekend. Like, that looks really fun. Where did you go? And just starting a conversation and letting it kind of roll from there. And majority of the time, because they've been watching you, they'll bring it back to and ask you about it. So then it doesn't have to be, you don't have to feel awkward about just like asking someone out of the blue if they want to join you, unless there's someone, like when Leslie messaged me and said how much she liked one of my posts, and I said, okay, you ready to join me as a coach? But yeah, it's great.
And then one other thing, and then I'll let Leslie start because I feel like I've been talking forever, is being able to get the Success Club leads. I kind of was dragging my feet on messaging those people, and I was like, should I send an email? Should I text? And I had, I think, 3 leads, and one was a guy, which I emailed. I wasn't going to text him. That would be really weird. But 2 others were girls, and I texted both of them, and I didn't hear anything back right away, and I was like, I probably won't. But one of the girls texted me back. Like, she thanked me for reaching out to her, and she was like, I'm really scared and nervous about this journey. What did she say? She ordered 21-day Fix Extreme. She's like, I think I ordered the wrong one because I was reading reviews and they said it's for people that are like already, into fitness, and I'm not. And hi. And she was, wondering about a meal plan and grocery list and all this stuff. And so I had messaged her back, letting her know that I'd love to add her to our group, and just that, a little bit about her program and reassuring her that there's modifications and things like that she can do for her program, and that I did Insanity when I was overweight and out of shape. And if I can do that, then anybody can do anything. And so I'm going to follow up with her. I haven't heard back from her again, but I was going to follow up with her and kind of give her a grocery list idea that I usually post, and just following up with people. And I don't feel like it as like I'm bugging people, because I don't really text them every single day or whatever. Like, I just follow back up with them to see if they're ready. And I think, with Cassie, I had talked to her about doing a 5-day challenge. And the first one, she didn't end up doing it. She was interested, but didn't end up doing it. And then with the next one, I think I ran the next one, and she was ready. And so, following up with people, because they might not be ready now, but they're still watching and they still are interested, and they might be ready later, So I just always am really good about following up and checking in with people, because some people just take a little bit longer, to be ready to start. So I think that's about it. I need to be a little bit better about organizing my follow-ups and keeping track of that instead of like scrolling through old messages. And I've been trying to write it down.
That's why I have not been very good with using Teamsy yet this month. So that's like my goal for this second half of the month. But I struggle with the same thing.
I can't hear anything. Okay, now I can.
That's weird. Okay, my turn?
Yep, go for it.
Okay, so I'm Leslie. Obviously, Renee is my sister-in-law. We're married to brothers, and my husband is a farmer as well. He is a potato farmer, though, so we also do peas and sweet corn. His potatoes actually make McDonald's French fries, which is kind of a cool fun fact, but which kind of sucks because my whole health and wellness journey is not really like supporting his business, but I have him drinking Shaco, so he's kind of supporting mine, so that's cool. we have a blended family of 4 kids. So we were both married before. So we have Leona, who's 2, and London and Lexi are 8, and Logan is 12. So I'm a pretty busy stay-at-home mom. I have a photography business on the side, and now I'm doing the Beachbody thing. To be honest with you, I never pictured myself being a Beachbody coach. Like most of you, my news feed is slammed with multi-level marketing companies that I had no interest in ever joining. And I had dabbled in Beachbody before, like Logan said and Renee touched on. I did P90X years ago after I had my son, to like get muscle, because I was like skinny fat at one point in my life. So I did that, and then I had my daughter, and so I did Insanity with Renee, and I tried Shakeology and didn't really like drink it very regularly. Like I know I was for a little bit, but I didn't have that accountability group. Like there was a girl who was my coach, and there was a couple other girls that never posted anything, and so it was just me and Renee pretty much. And I had the same experience. I posted like my results on Instagram because I was like super excited, and all these people were like, wow, you look amazing. And it didn't really go anywhere, obviously, because we weren't that serious we weren't interested in coaching at all. So, and over the last couple of years, I had probably 3 or 4 people approach me about the coaching opportunity. Like I had a girl on Instagram that I was friends with, say, hey, I think you would be awesome at this. And so, and I told them all no, whether that was like a straight out no, or whether that was just ignoring their message. Yes, I was totally that girl that would like give you crickets. Like that was me. I just wasn't interested. It wasn't the right time for me. So I just ignored people. I had been through a lot. In my previous marriage, I was married for 10 years. It was super unhealthy. It did a number on my body. And even after like having the courage to leave that situation, I had to put the pieces together, and that was really hard on me. I went to like 2 years of trauma counseling. And the thing about counseling is awesome, but all that crap that like happens to you or bothers you and you like bottle it up and you like shove it down deep inside you. Well, when you go to counseling, all that crap comes to the surface. So all that stuff came up, and I had a lot to deal with, a lot to face, a lot to accept. And unfortunately, that like really put me in a dark place. Like I was dealing with depression and anxiety, and to deal with that, I found myself like in the throes of addiction to like cope with this anxiety and depression that was like consuming me. And luckily I got help. I got out of it. I got out of that dark spot, but I like lost myself somewhere in that process. Like, I don't know if it, like where it happened, but I had lost myself. Like I looked in the mirror and I didn't even recognize myself, inside or out. I mean, I was on all this medication to deal with all these issues, and I gained like over 40 pounds in like a year. Like it happened so fast. And my body was just falling apart. Like I had surgery after surgery, and I obviously knew I needed to do something for my health. But I wasn't sure like what. And I had tried everything that everyone was selling, and nothing was working for me. I thought I had no willpower. So there's this coach, Logan, and she continues to post on her Facebook. And I barely know Logan, you guys. Like I met her at a wedding like years ago, and I took her pictures once. That was it. So I'm like following this girl on Facebook, and she's posting about health and fitness and her life. And Renee and I both were rolling our eyes. Like, really? This girl's posting about fitness again? Like, who cares? But like, that's what you do, right? When you're not like happy with yourself, like you just like you're annoyed at people who are happy. And I remember looking at her transformation photos and like picking them apart. Like, I mean, I probably shouldn't say that because we're all scared to put them out there, but I was like, they're probably photoshopped. Like, this is too good to be true. And but the point is, I was watching. Like, whether I was liking or commenting or even being negative, I was still watching. And one day Logan makes a post and it just hit me in the gut. And I don't even remember what the heck you posted about, but it doesn't matter.
Or do you want me to
do?
tell you which one?
Yeah.
About how I was afraid to even get started with this and I didn't want to tell anybody that I was doing it because I was afraid of failing.
Yeah, totally. Okay.
So everything that I had ever tried in the past, I had failed at. So
For sure. So she posts that and it resonated with me so deeply that I was like, okay, I gotta message her. So I messaged her and it was like that typical message that we get on our like pages, like, oh my gosh, you're so inspiring, you look good, everybody's talking about it. And she was like, oh, thank you. But like, okay, so I know Logan was just saying, like, when you message people, like, it doesn't have to be like so straightforward, but I think that what Logan did that day was huge, because I think it's the most important part of the story, because she put her neck out. Like, she, like, I know this is totally out of your comfort zone, Logan. Like, she was bold, she was brave, and she said, Leslie, I want you to join my team. Like, that was it. She didn't ask about my health. She didn't ask about my fitness goals. She didn't tell me about Shakeology or 21 Day Fix or anything. She just said, Leslie, I want you to join me. Like, I know you could inspire people, and I believe in you. You could do this. And I was like, okay. Like, I barely know you. And yet I said yes. And I had said no to people who knew me a lot better. And I said yes to Logan because one thing, like, when she messaged me, I could tell that she saw that I had value. Like, it's seriously going to make me cry. It was not about Logan. It wasn't about the program. It wasn't about Beachbody. It was about me. Like, she saw that I had value. And I used to manage Starbucks, and I learned something very fast in, like, managing other people. And that was, people thrive when they feel valued. When you tell someone, like, I believe in you, you can do this, I'm going to invest myself in you, my time, my effort, my energy, like, and you're going to be successful, like, people perform, like, they succeed. And pretty soon, like, they're helping other people perform in the same way that you help them. And it's amazing. Like, it works. And I've never been a salesperson, but I feel like I'm pretty good at showing people that they're worth something. And so, like, that always gave me success, like, in the workplace, if that makes sense. So there I was, feeling all valued, warm and fuzzy. And I wanted to help other people, but I had no idea how to do that. And yeah, I could go on the website and I could think around and watch videos, and I could stalk other Beachbody coaches like Heather and everything. And I could, like, oh, what are they doing? Maybe I should do that. But, like, when it came down to it, like, that wasn't me. And if it's not you, like, it's not going to work. Like, it has to be you. And Logan kept saying, like, share, like, you know, you got to share. And I was like, share what? Like, I don't have a transformation photo. Like, what the heck am I going to share? Like, I'm like ashamed of where I'm at right now. Like, I don't want to put that on social media. Like, I don't want people to know I'm trying to lose weight. I don't want people to know that I signed up with Beachbody. Like, I don't want people to know any of that. I mean, not to mention, like, it's so hard to not to compare yourself. Like, we tell our challengers that all the time, right? Like, don't compare yourself to other people. But don't we do that as coaches? Don't we, like, compare our coaching journeys to other coaches? And what are they doing? What am I not doing right? What should I be doing this like them? And I was looking at Renee, and she literally just started too, and she was on fire, and she looked amazing. And I was like, who the heck's going to sign up with me? Like, they're going to sign up with Renee. Like, she looks awesome and she's kicking butt. And on top of that, there's this huge fear of judgment, like tremendous fear of judgment, right? Like, people judging your before pictures, people judging that you signed up with this company, people looking at your posts and being like, this is like the last girl on the face of the planet. I should take health and fitness to my stream. So I had all that going on in my head. And somehow a few weeks in, I stepped out and started sharing. And it was slow, like just getting my feet wet. Like, I didn't like throw it all out there one time. But I remember starting to share and like literally wanting to throw up, you guys. Like, I was shaking. I remember texting Renee and Logan and probably Jana and everybody, and I'm like, I'm freaking out. Like, I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna delete it. And I didn't delete it. And the reason I didn't delete it is because transparency is like huge for me. Not just in work, but in life. I've had people in my life that were open to me about their struggles, and it helped me tremendously. And so I try to do that in my life. Like, I try to be transparent and real and raw with people. I've been very open, not so much on social media, but with people, you know, in private messages or whatever, about abuse, addiction, depression, anxiety. Like, I will tell you exactly what I went through, because I've watched that vulnerability like give other people hope. And that makes it all worth it. And this is like no different. Like, you may think like, okay, well, I don't have that big of a struggle story in my life, or maybe I'm just too ordinary, or maybe I'm too boring, or whatever. But I guarantee you that someone needs to hear your words. Like, someone out there needs to hear your story. They need to see your photos. They need to have a conversation with you. And I know Logan said this before, but where would all of us be if she hadn't had shared? Like, we'd still be in that crappy place, right? And like, she shared and it affected all of us. So after I started sharing, I started having all these awesome conversations with women that started opening up to me about some of the crazy, you know, struggles they were going through in life. And most of these women were going through it and are going through it alone. Like, they are silently suffering. And I'm not saying like I'm this beacon of hope, but I am like someone to listen. And I know that these products could help them. And I want to share like that happiness and that health that I found like with them. And I don't know, I just try to live my life like that. And I encourage you guys to just remember that like, you can never be too vulnerable. And I really mean that. Like, you can't be too vulnerable. Like, be courageous, step up, show up, and let people see like your imperfect self. And I get it. Like, it's scary. It is so scary. But like, the more you do it, every time you put yourself out there, you get a little like braver every time. And it's kind of freeing. Like, I was telling Amy that last night. Like, it's kind of freeing to like put yourself out there. And yeah, you might be afraid of the haters. You might be afraid of like the negative comments. I've had my share for sure. And you got to prepare yourself for that. I mean, they may come, they may not. But I read this article one time. It was about people on their deathbed. And the lady that wrote the article asked people what their biggest regret was in life. And the number one regret that people had on their deathbed was living their life to please somebody else. And I could relate with that so much, like how we like live our lives to please other people. And I don't want you to wait until you feel perfect, because your worthiness is not defined by anything anyone has to say or anything anyone thinks about you. And don't wait till you're perfect. Don't wait till you're bulletproof, because it's not going to happen. You're not going to feel perfect. You're not going to feel bulletproof. And you're going to miss out on all those opportunities to connect with all those people out there that are waiting to connect with you. So that's my advice. Share your story. Share your heart. I know you've probably heard it a million times, but I really think that that's the only reason that I'm being successful at all. And when you show people that you love them and that you value them and that you want to pour into them, they are going to show up too, and they're going to want to be part of what you're doing.
And if you haven't read Go Giver, read it, because it's amazing. Like, it's just, you have to put out what you want to receive. You have to, do more than what you want to receive, and do good. And just what Leslie's saying, share your story, if not for you, for other people, because you never know who you're going to reach. You never know whose life you're going to change. And I always make sure that, people know that I truly appreciate them, on my page and supporting me and all of that. And it really does help. I don't think they realize how much their words of encouragement help us to keep going, and, that we care about them. And same with, my coaches and challengers. Like, I didn't sign them up to, get a challenge pack or to get SC points or whatever. I signed them up because I care about them, and I want them to feel as good as I feel, and I want them to feel good about themselves and, get back to where they want to be. And I think making sure that they know that you care about them and their well-being, and that you want them to succeed and do well.
I read somewhere that connection is like a primal instinct kind of. And so people actually have the desire to be part of something bigger inside of them. And so that's why when we connect with people, it makes such a huge impact, because people think about when people join our accountability groups, how the excited they get and how they just start opening up and they get real. And like Heather was saying, the energy in our group is ridiculous. And you just bottle that up and you guys can sell it, because it's just awesome. So I think that deep down people want to be part of that.
How they're not the same.
What?
I don't understand how other groups aren't the same, or what I mean? Yeah. I can't imagine being in a group. I mean, we've had a couple 5-day groups that's been cricket, but Hi, Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
I have a couple of coaches who switched to me because they didn't have the support, from their other coaches that they needed. And it just kind of amazes me that, their reasonings for why they didn't have the support from their coach. One of them is because they weren't signing people up, so they kind of stopped hearing from their coach, and that just blew me away. And I just kind of was like, what? Who does that? I mean, it's just kind of crazy to me. And everybody, not everybody has the awesome upline that we have either. So I feel very grateful that we have so much support, through our entire upline, and that we're able to use that to our benefit to be better coaches and to show that we care about, our people and support our people and our team and everything like that. So, yeah.
She's on the phone. Levi. Okay, does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, that was Levi. But yeah, I think that one of the biggest takeaways is just don't feel like you have to be at a certain place to start sharing your story and sharing your heart. And the best way to do it is don't try to be anybody else. When you're posting, just be true to who your story is, because I can't be Haley and I can't be Megan, but I can be Logan, and I can share, you know, sometimes the exciting things and sometimes the super boring things that I do. But everybody is going to connect with a different person for a different reason. And you can't always like predict who is going to connect with your story. I wouldn't have picked Heather like as someone that my story would necessarily like affect. I mean, we were Instagram friends for a couple years probably, but I never realized how closely she was watching me until she, you know, reached out to me. So you never know who your story is going to touch and who like just needs this in their life and who could potentially turn into like one of your best friends without you even like realizing it. So it's just really
I wanted to share something else real quick. I just found my first photos from Insanity that I had done, and I was super nervous to share it because I did not have the six pack that they had advertised on the infomercial. And I mean, I had only lost 10 pounds, which 10 pounds is awesome. But, you know, in 9 weeks, I was probably hoping to lose more, and I probably would have if I had been where I'm at now. But I don't know if you guys can see this. So,
oh wow.
This is the beginning, and then
I have this saved on my phone.
let me see if it'll, the light is not that great. But the bottom, you can still, I don't know why the light's not that great. There we go. And I still have the mom pooch. I still have the love handles in the back, but I still posted it. You know, I was super scared and super nervous to post it because, like I said, I wasn't where I wanted to be. I still had a lot of work to do. But I was proud of what I had done and proud of what I had done. So much encouragement and feedback from that, even though, you know, I wasn't where I wanted to be. And I wasn't even coaching at that time, you know, but I probably would have changed a lot of lives had I been back then, because, you know, so many people reached out and it's like, I'm getting back into it. I had people private messaging me, asking what I was doing. So even if you're not where you want to be, like, share. It's so worth it just for the encouragement to keep going.
Exactly.
If nothing else, how I feel starting this is I can take any negativity or any of that out of my mind or judgment, because if I can help change just one life and inspire one person, then I don't care about any of it. It doesn't matter to me, because you can do all you want and you say, oh, do whatever you want, scroll past my posts, I don't care, because there are people that I'm inspiring and motivating, and that's what matters. And that's why I love coaching people, and, you know, people that you don't even know that you inspire. Just very, very cool. I'm very glad that you made me join the group.
I'm glad you finally caved. Do any of you guys have any questions before we log off and say goodnight? No? Alrighty. Well, my little monkeys are wrestling over there. If you can't hear them, hear their little cackles in the background. So I'm going to go make sure she doesn't like slam his head into the fireplace or something. But thank you all for hopping on tonight. I will be posting the recording on the team page. And we will see all y'all in the challenge group. Bye.